Selling yourself. Who all's law enforcement in the room or ex-law enforcement? Who all's ex-military? Who all's did public service outside of military and law enforcement? We are awful. Awful. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about 99.9999% of us. Awful at all of this stuff. Resumes. And I'm going to show you my resume. So this presentation is not how I came in and did everything right. This presentation is how I came in and did everything wrong and then fixed it. So my hope is that if somebody's taking note, that they're like, okay, maybe stay away from the potholes that Scott hit. The resumes. Police officer for Atlanta Police Department. I enforce the laws in the state of Georgia and the city of Atlanta. No kidding. I have this, and you'll see in the next slide, this was in my resume when I first came out. But I get these across my desk so many times after being in security for 6 years, and I realize how silly it looks now. The resume real estate is so important to figure out how to tell people who you are and why you're different. And that is no different than any other cop. You just defined what a police officer was. It's like putting doctor and saying, I heal people. Okay, thanks. So that's number one, unique value. There's 900,000 current law enforcement officers out there. I don't know what the statistic is on former officers, but there's so many people with that simple skill set. Not simple, sorry, but with that general skill set. Police officer. What makes you different? Were your arrest numbers high? Were you extra productive? Were you always going above and beyond as a police officer? Did you go into investigations? Were you a leader? Were you, the same thing, the anti-theft car vehicle stuff. If you go into that and you're going into an investigator for an insurance company and you tell them all this stuff, you probably already work with all those acronym systems that they already know. That's huge. Interviews. We're awful at this too. I had a guy come in one time and it was me and my boss was a chief operating officer who did most of his years in accounting. And I had this guy, sharp cop, right? And he is acronym after terminology. And I left and I looked at my boss and I said, he's great. My boss looked at him and says, I don't like him. And the reason was because my boss didn't understand a damn thing he said. When you say platoon, people that don't know military don't know how many people that is. They might think that's two. So the lingo is really important and understanding.